Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Crazy Eddie with the Truth Radio, February 23rd, 2023. If you're listening out there, thank you for joining. We're going to get into it here in a little bit. Today's topic is R. Kelly, of course. Okay, an interesting day for pedophiles all over the world. But we're going to get into it here. All right, I am streaming here live. So today, R. Kelly, what a day. What a day it has been. I'm going to wait for some people to come in, if they are coming in at all. I'm not going to wait too long. I'm going to get started on this. So, a federal judge on Thursday rejected a call from prosecutors to keep R. Kelly behind bars until he is 100 years old, instead telling the Grammy Award-winning R&B singer he would serve all but one of his 20 years on child sex convictions simultaneously with a previous sentence. Handed down in the courtroom in Kelly's hometown of Chicago, the sentence means Kelly could make it out of prison alive when he's about 80. Prosecutors had asked Judge Harry Leinenweber to sentence him to 25 years and to not let him begin serving those until he completed the first 30-year sentence imposed on him last year in New York for federal racketeering and sex trafficking convictions. The nature of the offense is horrific, Leinenweber said. In explaining the 20-year sentence, he noted that Kelly's sexual abuse victims would suffer from his crimes for the rest of their lives. At the same time, he accepted defense arguments that Kelly might not even make it to 80. So, handing him a consecutive lengthy sentence, rather than allowing him to serve all but 1 year of it simultaneously, didn't make much sense. He has a life expectancy of not a hell of a lot more, the judge said. He is 56 years of age. Kelly's defense lawyer celebrated the ruling as a victory, and some of the singer's fans could be heard cheering outside the courtroom, if you can believe that. Cheering outside the courtroom for R. Kelly, a convicted rapist, pedophile. Cheering! Kelly remained still. His eyes were downcast as Leinenweber explained what was at times a hard-to-follow sentence. He did seem to show some emotion when the representative read a statement written by Jane, one of his accusers, at a key prosecution witness. "I was brainwashed by Kelly and a sex slave," Jane's statement said. "It almost killed me." Kelly did not make a statement in court prior to the sentencing decision, heeding the advice of his lawyer, Jennifer Bonjean, to stay quiet while they appeal both his Chicago and New York convictions. "It's the right outcome," Bonjean said of the sentence after the hearing ended. "The judge was reasonable. He, I think, took into account both sides and ultimately was fair." The U.S. Attorney in Chicago, John Losh, conceded that prosecutors was disappointed Kelly didn't receive more consecutive prison time, but he added, 20 years is a significant sentence, and we are happy that was imposed in this case. The judge said at the outset of Thursday's hearing that he did not accept the government's contention that Kelly used fear to woo underage girls for sex, a determination that was important in deciding whether to extend Kelly's current term significantly. The government's whole theory of grooming was sort of the opposite of fear of bodily harm, the judge told the court. It was the fear of lost love, lost affections from Kelly. It just doesn't seem to me that it rises to the fear of bodily harm. Two of Kelly's accusers asked the judge Thursday to punish him harshly. "When your virginity is taken by a pedophile at 14, your life is never your own," Jane's statement read. Another accuser, who used the pseudonym Nia, addressed Kelly directly in court, speaking forcefully as her voice quivered. Nia said Kelly would repeatedly point out her alleged faults while he abused her. "Now you are here because there is something wrong with you," she said. "No longer will you be able to harm children." Jurors in Chicago convicted Kelly last year on 6 of 13 counts, 3 of producing child porn, 3 of enticement of minors for sex. Prosecutors did not get a conviction on the marquee charge that Kelly and his then business manager successfully rigged his state child pornography trial in 2008. Kelly rose from poverty in Chicago to become one of the world's biggest R&B stars, known for his hit "I Believe I Can Fly," and for sex-infused songs such as "Bump and Grind." He sold millions of albums after allegations of his abuse of girls began circulating publicly in the 1990s. We remember Aaliyah and all that, right, guys? You remember all that. Prosecutors had previously described Kelly as a serial sexual predator who used his fame and wealth to reel in, sexually abuse, then discard starstruck fans. At Thursday's hearing, U.S. Assistant Attorney Janice Apenteg urged the judge to keep Kelly in prison for the rest of his life. The rest of his life. Whatever that may be. Kelly's abuse of children was especially appalling, she said, because he memorialized his abuse by filming victims, including Jane. Apenteg told the court Kelly used Jane as a sex prop, a thing for producing pornographic videos. Bonjean said repeatedly that the government singled out her client because he is a superstar and previously accused prosecutors of offering an embellished narrative to get the judge to join what she called the government's bloodthirsty campaign to make Kelly a symbol of the Me Too movement. She echoed that theme Thursday in calling the request for a 25-year consecutive sentence overkill. So R. Kelly has suffered enough, so they say, including financially, Bonjean said. She said his worth once approached $1 billion, and that he is now destitute. Just before Kelly was taken back to detention Thursday, Bonjean requested that he not be placed on suicide watch because constant checks by guards is in of itself cruel and creates mental health issues. He was expecting this, she told the judge. Mr. Kelly is not suicidal. Okay. That's the latest. That's the latest, ladies and gentlemen. Off to the comments. All right, my favorite part, of course, because we get to connect with those who really have a say in this thing, the fans. Okay, we got someone here saying, "Book 'em, boys." Okay, they should have given him all of the extra 25 years that the prosecutors wanted. I agree with that. He's probably doing time for Epstein customers. Maybe. I heard Epstein got a sentence today also. Just say life and move on. He's old news. No. Not so fast, Cam. This is important. Okay? One extra year? What he did to minors and grown women? And one extra year? Yeah. And for those of you who are a little confused, it's 20. 30 already serving, 50 total. Okay, in case you guys are confused on the whole sentencing structure. All right. When are they going to deal with Epstein Island guests? It is known that those were the real pedos. Oh yeah, because R. Kelly wasn't. Why does every other reporter say 20 extra years? Well, it's concurrently. Okay. They should add a year at the beginning of each year. I swear, they lying on this man. No, my friend. No, they are not lying. Okay, face it. The music's, it is what it is. According to reports, the judge called Kelly into chambers and said, "You're in trouble. Lock him up. Crimes against children deserve more time than anything else. Fix it." And let me add to this. Sales of his records went up after his conviction. Okay. His sales went up after being convicted of these crimes. Why? Are there any radio stations out there going to be playing R. Kelly music now? Should they? Or why would they? I don't think so. I'm totally against it. Okay. These are some real victims here. No, this is not a setup. Okay. This is not a setup. Don't compare this to the don't compare this to Bill Cosby. Okay, two different situations here. All right. Yeah, he avoided staying in jail till 100. That's what he accomplished today. Not much. Will he make it to 80? Who knows? Nobody knows. But what I do know is that justice was served. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this whole deal with him going to jail for a long time, as he should. Okay, if you're a father to a daughter, you know what I'm talking about. All right, we need less of these guys out in the street. I concur. Anyways, that's my 2 cents on it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Crazy Eddie, Truth Radio, out.